All right, so let's solve together now. The first question is question AB. Now, just like we did in the last video, we're going to use the simple method to solve it. So we would evaluate how many units on the x and how many units on the y. The number of units on the x here is 2 units, and the number of units on the y here is 6 units. Okay, and now it is going downwards, and we have established the fact that when it is going downwards, it is negative, and when it is going upwards, it is positive. Now, in that situation, now A asks x component of 2 and y component of 6. However, since it is going downward, it will be on the negative side of A, of x, and of y. So A is equals to -2 minus 6. Let's move on to, so vector AB is equals to -2 minus 6. Let's move on to vector CD. Now let's look at vector CD now. We just evaluate how many units on the x and how many units on the y. Now, if you look at vector CD, we can see that it doesn't have any unit on the x. So the x unit is equals to 0. However, the y has a total of 6 units. Okay, so we can say vector CD is equals to x unit 0, the y unit, which is 6. Now, is it going upwards or downwards? We can see that it's going upwards. So upwards means positive, and this will be +0 and +6. So we can just leave it as 0. So 0, 6. So that's for vector CD. Let's move to vector EF. Now, vector EF has y component of 0 because it is moving horizontally. Y component of 0, and the x component is 4. So vector EF now has 4 components on the x and 0 components on the y, and it is moving in what direction? If it's moving towards the left, is negative, and to the right, if the direction is to the right, it is positive. Now, since it's moving to the left, we have -4, -0, and this will give us -4 and 0. So that's for vector EF. And with that done, let's move to vector GH. The same thing applies to vector GH. The y component on vector GH is equal to 0. However, the x component is 4. Is 4 units on the x. So we can say vector GH has 4 units on x-axis and 0 on y. Now, is it moving to the right or to the left? We can see that it is moving to the right. If it is moving to the right, we see that it is positive. So therefore, this will give us +4, +0, and we can rewrite it to give us 4, 0. And finally, we have vector IJ. And this is similar to what we did in the last with AB and in the last exercise also. How many units on the x-axis? We have 2 units, and on the y-axis we have how many units? We have 5 plus 2, and that will give us 7 units. So with that, we know that our vector ij has 2 units on the x-axis, 7 units on the y-axis. Is it going upwards or is it going downwards? We can see that it is going downwards. Okay, downwards. So downwards shows that it is negative, just as we have a upwards positive, downward negative. So the x and y components will have negative values. So ij is equals to -2 -7. So we can see we are able to solve for AB, we are able to solve for CD. Likewise, we have been able to solve for EF, GH, and IJ. So in our next lesson, we will take something totally different, which we call addition and subtraction of vectors.